All right, focus on business with Torch. What do I pay my staff? So what you pay your staff, really varies by market to market, and by market to market, I don't necessarily mean say the greater Houston area. You'll find pockets of Houston that have very different wages than other areas of Houston. And so, first of all, it's important to know what your competition is paying. But what we would encourage you to do is that when you do a job listing, list the starting wage as low as you possibly can and as high as you possibly can. And so, if the most experienced, best caregiver in the world, you would pay $17 an hour to, and just that knucklehead who can't ever show up on time and can't tie their shoes, and you can barely depend on them to load the washer, you would pay $11. When you do a job listing, you say the pay is $11 to $17 an hour. What you'll find is that everybody who applies for the job, they only see the $17 an hour. They're only going to see that. And so they're coming in thinking they're given 17. Well, if you happen to be the best caregiver, the best cook, the best whatever it is you're hiring for in the world, yes, I'm paying you for that. But of course, there's only one of those. And so the odds of you being that person, we've yet to see. And so have a range in your job listings that say, hey, here's the range of what we pay. You'll get those folks that apply for it because, again, their eyes get all excited when they see the high end of the pay range, whatever that is, again, in your market. But then when you're in the interview, and I would encourage you to do this early on when you've got somebody who wants the job, right? When they're negotiating, they're thinking about the highest number, but when they want the job, when they haven't been offered the job, they're oftentimes going to be more likely to go lower on the end of the spectrum as opposed to, hey, I'm in negotiating mode, I need to go higher. And so we'd encourage you, in the interview process, just say, okay, what kind of wage are you looking for? You will find folks that, if you're, generally your starting wage for the average person that you hire is $12 an hour, you might have somebody come in, and I see this happen all the time, where they'll come in and say, I'm just looking for $9 an hour. Does that mean that you're going to pay them $9? Maybe, but maybe not. But you now know what it takes to keep them happy. You know what it takes that, when you throw out a number, that you've got a basis for that. And so, certainly I think that, there might be the tendency to think, well, hey, I'm not doing right by them if I offer them lower than I was going to otherwise. But I would suggest you're going to get that caregiver that comes in that is more than qualified, that's more than what your minimum qualifications are. And so you might want them to, want to offer them a little more than your base pay. Great. Well, just as a valid strategy as that is, there might be somebody on the other end that, they don't just quite they don't have all of the skills that you're looking for. They don't check all of the boxes. So let me tell you, I'd like to offer you the job. Here's what I can offer you. So really that's a spectrum. Nobody, you've got your base wage and here's what I offer. And you've got in your mind, here's what I'm going to get for that. Nobody comes in at exactly that. Nobody checks all of those boxes and able to do all of those things to the level that you want them to. So it would be silly to just assume that the wage has got to be what it is. And so we'd encourage you to, always start with the wage. You'll get some of the best people by being flexible on the high end. You'll find some people that are able to do the job, but that might need a little additional training and might need a little additional help. On the lower end of the spectrum, both of them can be a great part of your workforce, and you can sometimes find folks that nobody else will give a shot. It turns out that they're rock stars with just a little bit of additional help. This has been a Focus on Business with Torch. Thanks.